Okay. You guys have any questions, or are we good? Any questions?
What's the status of Ian?
Status in terms of playing?
Yes.
Day to day. It's a day-to-day situation right now.
Is it ribs? Is it back?
Upper body.
Okay. And when, I mean, has he been practicing this week?
He's been at practice, but he has been limited. Yep.
Do you expect Brandon would start Saturday?
Right now, he's gotten the bulk of the work, but we'll see what happens, Saturday.
And if Phil Jacobic had to play, if Brandon were, and
He's gotten a lot of reps. Yeah, he got a lot of work this week.
I mean, how confident are you that he could come in and run your offense?
We can win. If Phil has to play, we can win. No doubt.
Brian, when did the injury occur?
In the game. In the game.
Was it when he got hit in the first quarters?
Angela, I'm not exactly sure, but I want to say it was in the second quarter, but I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to check.
When did you guys first realize there was an issue? Because he seemed like he was fine, obviously, throughout the game and then after the game.
We knew that, obviously that he was banged up during the game, and then in subsequent follow-ups on Sunday that we were going to have to keep an eye on him throughout the week.
Brian, any other injuries?
None. No other injuries. He's cleared. He'll play.
Coach, how beneficial, if he can't go, is having a guy like Brandon who has started and won 12 games?
It's awesome. I mean, to have a guy like that, first of all, our players just, really respect, and, are excited if he has the opportunity to play. They'll rally around him. But he doesn't have to come in if he has to play and go win the football game. We got some other pretty good pieces. We got a pretty good defense, and if he's called upon, he'll do a great job. He's prepared himself.
Yeah, you mentioned that he's still been engaged in practice and has been.
Yeah.
What has his workload in practice maybe been the last 6 weeks or so?
Typical too, a typical backup. Obviously he had to take more work this week.
How much does the offense have to change? You haven't gone with Brandon on Saturday.
The offense just kind of moves more towards. He's a good runner of the football, so you're going to see him run the football a little bit, but you don't change a ton of what we do, other than what has he been successful at. You maybe add a little bit of that into what you're doing, but your offense doesn't. I don't think from if you watch us play, go, oh wow, that's a totally different offense.
And was there any way for him to improve over the course of the last 6 weeks to tune some things?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Where do you think he
Balance. A lot of it was fine tuning some mechanics, and really being, just a lot more sound and look, to throw the ball with accuracy. There's a lot of carryover to so many other sports. You watch pitchers that lose the strike zone and they come back and they make a couple of tweaks in a bullpen session, and all of a sudden they're throwing strikes again. He just needed to make a couple of fine-tuned mechanical things, and he's throwing the ball pretty good this week.
the quarterback you've seen in practice is different than what we saw in the first 3 weeks?
The quarterback that is taking reps for us is a guy that you would say is of championship quality. He's 12-3 for a reason.
Brian, has it helped him to see Ian Book running the offense the way he has? I know they have different skill sets, but just are there lessons?
Yes, yes, and I think just that that quickness and just delivering it and moving quickly through progressions. I think that helps when you're looking at it from his perspective. Yep.
Was it a regular 60-40 between Brandon and Phil this week? And what is it that you've seen Phil that gives you the confidence that he can win this?
I don't know if it was always 60-40. It was a little bit mixed up with, we had some different reps this week because we had a bunch of quarterbacks going. So it wasn't necessarily just that. Phil's got some, obviously some learning still to do, but he can run our offense. I mean, not the entire playbook, but we're not going to put a guy out there that is lost. He's going to be able to run the offense. He can throw the football down the field. He can run some RPOs. He can run some screen game option. There'll be plenty for you to defend if Phil's on the football field.
Has Ian been taking snaps then this week, or?
Ian's been part of practice, yes.
Has he done enough that you would be confident in him being able to be able to?
Phil?
I'm sorry, Ian. Has he done enough that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's done enough. Yep.
Coach, you've often said that wins the only thing that really bothers how you call an offense or how your offense would perform. Is that something that is that a main concern for you still? Do you think that affects both teams equally in this situation? Or is this weather enough where if the weather comes, you don't know what you're just
Sure. Yeah, I think you decide more. Those things are much more about field position and special teams than they are operational from an offensive standpoint. There may be things that, like, I mean, I hate to say it, but may have to consider like deferring. I mean, which I hate to do that, but I might have to think about that. But things like that, you have to consider weather and wind and things of that nature. No, much more about field position and things of that nature.
How is Tranquil from that?
He was a little, I think, sore earlier in the week, and he progressed to where, he's going to be an every down player for us.
Do you think a colder and potentially snowier night favors a quarterback like Wimbush who uses his legs more than, say, Ian?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I think both of those guys will thrive in any conditions, as long as it's not, the ice bowl, right? I mean, I think, as long as if it's cold and there's some snow in the air, both of those guys would be fine in those kind of conditions. And I really don't. I mean, I think we're overplaying the conditions here. I think, 30-mile-an-hour winds and those things we're not expecting that. It's going to be cold. Throw some leggings on.
Just to clarify, so you're not naming a starter, is that like a game time decision all the way around, Ian, Brandon, and Phil?
Yes, correct.
Anything else? Brandon played really well against what's been pretty much the number one defense in the country all year.
Yes, he did.
Do you have him kind of tap back into that experience when you're working with his confidence and so forth? Because that was, when you look back at that game, that was even maybe a better performance than it looked like on that night because we didn't know how good Michigan's defense was going to be.
Yeah. So you got to look at it from his perspective. He's gotten plenty of time to think about not being the starter and what he needs to do, as the question was asked. And he's worked really hard on the things that he wants to be better at. He's an incredible competitor, and if he's given the opportunity, he wants to stay the starter. So he's gonna look back on all the things that he's done, and if he's given the opportunity, he'll play really well.
Brian, how much does that red shirt rule benefit you now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if Phil's called upon, this would be a great kind of usage of this particular rule here. You'd hate to lose a kid like Phil's year of eligibility because you're forced to play him under these conditions. Good. All right.